Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got a Knight of Wands to start us off. This is sometimes some impulsive energy, but it's very enthusiastic. It's very energetic. This is something happening fast. This is, you better hold on tight because this horse is taking off. All right. And if you don't want to fall, you got to hold on, right? With your legs, with your hands, and just, you know. Sometimes this can be our zeal, right? Our enthusiasm for something. And sometimes we get a little carried away with it. Sometimes we do want to just jump into something and really allow the horse to carry us away. And that's fine. I feel like that's a situation right now that is really, you're going to want to just dive into it, right? You're going to want to just go headfirst into this situation. But we've got to keep our wits about us, right? We've got to hold on to the reins, make sure that this... Make sure that we stay in control, make sure we don't get thrown from the horse, and make sure we kind of know where we're going to end up, you know. But this is really good energy. This is a sudden surge of confidence, of ambition, yeah. Real enthusiasm here. Let's put it into some context, though, shall we? Even more fire energy, more fire energy. 2 of Swords, all right. A 6 of Swords, and a 3 of Swords. Very good. I like this because we're having this really kind of big surge of impulse. It feels like there's just all this magma in the volcano, and we can't wait to do it. We've got the mental energy. We're looking at both sides of things. We're thinking 2s, we're thinking 3s. We're trying to harmonize everything and make sure we know what we're doing, where we're going. We're being smart. This is us keeping our wits about us, right? And this is kind of that spiritual intoxication. So this is good. This is showing that we have this surge of creative energy, and now you've got the wherewithal to kind of stay in control. Yeah. Let's see what else we have. An 8 of Swords. Okay, we don't want too much air energy, though. Here's a little bit more, and a little bit more. Too much air energy over here, Aquarius. You know, you are an air sign, so I understand it. We've got to be careful because with your, obviously, Aquarius, you're a fixed air sign, right? You don't want to get stuck in the air here. And that's going to be our big kind of thing here. I feel like this surge of fire energy right here in the middle, this is such a, like, life-changing energy. Like, this is that excitement. This is that surprise opportunity that you're going to want to just jump on the horse and gallop away. Right? Never see you again. Whole life changing. You're smart enough to think, okay, well, I've got to look at both sides of things. I've got to analyze it. You got to do the math, right, Aquarius? This is you doing the math. But then when we get to the path of the serpent, you're doing too much math. You start doing other math problems. Pretty soon, you're just piled up with papers and calculators and slide rules and whatever else math people use. And we forgot all about this fire energy. The best way to kill this enthusiasm is to overthink it. Right? Overthink it. You want to think it, but not over much. Okay? But I think that this really is life-changing. This fire energy here, it is kind of swelling up from within you. And this could be like you've got this best idea of your life. And it could be with the 8 of Wands here that you have so many opportunities now. It's like suddenly you've got this great idea and there's so many different paths that you can take. There are different ways to mobilize this creative energy, different outlets for it. And maybe part of this thought process is figuring out which one's the best one, figuring out the timing, the telemetry, whatever the space people do when they send rockets out into space, you know. You've got to have everything kind of figured out. You've got to do all the math on it. But then what if we're doing so much math that we never actually pick a path? You know, this fire energy is not going to sit. Eventually, it's going to kind of burn itself out. The Four of Wands down at the bottom is even telling us this is a temporary fire. Use it or lose it, you know. Let's select the mystery card. This is the bonus card. It's one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we're going to, let's see, we're just going to set it down over here. Put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but, you know, it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. I'm kind of meticulous. I like everything to be nice and straight. If at any point during the reading you know what that card is or you have a hunch about that, put your prediction down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right, I think it'll be fun. Let's look around the room, because what I'm noticing now is that there's no major arcana cards here. This fire is growing from the table, right? The table is the spiritual energy. It's not that you don't have a connection with spirit. I think this is being sent out of nowhere from spirit. And if you look at it, this fire is kind of growing up from nowhere on my table here. Right? So it's unexpected. This seems like it's being created from nothing. Yeah. And I think you want to trust that. We see that with the Two of Swords there. You want to trust that. You want something comes. It's like in the Pamela Smith Tarot, where a hand is bringing you, well, a cup. The hand out of the clouds, right? Is bringing you the ace, and it's just like you kind of look at it, kind of side-eyed. Do I trust that hand? Do I recognize that hand? And it's so we want to accept it. It's a gift from nowhere. You know, it kind of reminds me of like a cartoon, you know, where it's just like suddenly there's a birthday cake next to Bugs Bunny's hole. And he wants to take it, you know, he wants the cake, but he knows it could be a trick. It could be a trap, you know. And so I feel there's a little bit of that going on here too, especially with this Two of Swords. We're kind of vacillating between, I trust it, no, I don't trust it. I trust it, no, I don't trust it. Yeah. With the Two of Swords, it's kind of, it contains the answer to its own question here. Because this is not about trusting or not trusting the hand itself or the opportunity itself, but trusting you, trusting spirit. Okay? This is not about the kind of mental deliberation that we think it is. This card is very much connected with the lunar energy, with the moon. And that moon is, in this case, the psychic sense, the intuition, the instinct even. Yeah. This card is about transcending the rational mind. It's like you have those two swords. It's either yes or no. It's binary, right? It's a 1 or a 0. I either do it or I don't do it. Let's transcend that. Do I trust it? Do I not trust it? We rise above. We tap into the intuition. And the intuition, I think, is very important. And I think especially now, with all these swords cards here, I wonder if you do trust yourself enough. I feel like you used to really kind of base your life on intuition. It used to be really kind of led by that. I feel something in the solar plexus area for you, that it's just like, it's kind of heart, it's kind of lower, but it's like right in the solar, right in the center. Yeah, in that kind of the sternal notch right there. Or is that at the top? I think it's at the top. Well, anyway. My anatomy is kind of rusty. I feel like you're being pulled from your center. Yeah. And so I feel like I don't know if it's still like that with you though. See, that's what I'm saying. It feels like you had that, and then it's almost as if something happened, or maybe we just kind of drifted away from feeling that or from listening to that. from following that kind of pull that you would feel. And now maybe it just feels like indigestion, So I feel like there was a lot more of this, I don't even know what to call it, psychic ability, I guess, psychic connection, or just maybe the clairvoyance even. But I feel like it's not as present now as it used to be. But we can get that back, right? We can get that back. Let's stop doing math problems. Let's do a little bit of math, but then let's meditate. Let's do something else. Let's do something maybe more fun. Do something that's more right brain, as they say, Do something creative. Do something meditative. It doesn't have to be sitting, crisscross applesauce in a quiet room with your eyes closed. It could be. It works for me. But you might find something else, rowing in a rowboat or something, right? It's something maybe repetitive. I kind of feel like you do like the repetitive thing. So either chanting or binaural beats, something that kind of helps your body, mind, and soul get into a rhythm. Yeah, get into a rhythm. That works for me, but I don't do that, especially like at night and stuff. Some people like to listen to things like that at night. I can't listen to anything with a rhythm, right? Because it will it will keep me awake. It's hard for me to fall asleep when there's too much rhythm around me, because for me that kind of activates my mind in a weird way. Puts me into a different brainwave kind of configuration, I guess. I do feel like there's something unique about your brain, your nervous system, the way you process information. And so I don't know, like me, if you're a little bit neurodivergent, or if there's something else going on there, but I feel like there's something unique about the way you process information. Yeah. And I think in a large part, that's part of this kind of spiritual thing. It's this psychic thing, this clairvoyant thing. It could be that we try very hard to get along, And so maybe that was true when I said that this pull of your intuition now just kind of feels like heartburn, like indigestion. Maybe that's kind of it. Maybe we don't want to be, or there was a time where we didn't want to feel that. We didn't want to be different. I don't want to process information differently, But I think that through the embracing of that, the listening to that, the accepting that this is how my brain, my mind, my nervous system, how my spirit is working, how my soul works. By embracing that, then I think we're more likely to find our way. And it's more likely to be, I was going to say a pleasurable experience, maybe that, but maybe just a more meaningful and maybe a richer experience. Maybe not always pleasurable, right? But more meaningful. Yeah, more meaningful. That brings me to the Six of Swords. Sorry for my tangent there. The Six of Swords is the harmony. This is the richness and the depth of your experience, of your knowledge, of your perception. This is you having done the math, but then also done the other side of things, the intuitive, the left brain and right brain. The heart and the mind are conjoined in the Six of Swords, and you have clarity of mind and a peacefulness of heart that tells you exactly how to utilize this creative fire. Now, I've been talking for so long. Is this fire even still here, or did I bore it right out of you? This is something that should happen in kind of a relative instant, right? Because we know with the Four of Wands that this is a situation, this is an opportunity, this is a life-changing moment that is not going to be here forever. It is that hand out of the clouds offering you something, but eventually it will withdraw. Okay? So we don't want to hesitate too long. We want to take enough time to know what to do, to have that the certainty that we need. But we don't want to get stuck, especially when I'm looking at this Eight of Swords. Yeah, I see it down there. We don't want to get stuck there. Because then what we see is ruin and regret, and we see a lot of hindsight. All right? And, every card has light and shadow. I feel like these cards here today are just kind of warning us what's going to happen if we don't make a decision, even if your decision is no. But the idea that we get so wrapped up in our thought process that this situation passes us by. Okay? And we don't get the chance to say yes or no. The timer runs out, so to speak, on this, especially with the 4. Now, with the 8 of Wands, did you guys just hear a car horn honk? I don't know if that was just in my head or not. And I wonder if that's kind of like, car horn kind of says, beep, beep, hurry up, I don't know if you heard that, but it's very appropriate. And I think it's appropriate to this reading so it doesn't become an hour long. But there is that idea that, Spirit's kind of just saying, honking the horn, saying, come on, you gotta get off the pot here, right? You've got to make a decision. The light's green. Are you going to go? Are you turning? Are you going straight? What are you doing? And that's kind of like this 8 of Wands. We've got this energy. You're in your car. You're on your horse, and there's all this power behind you. You've got all this horsepower, right? Are you turning? Are you going straight? What are we doing here? Yeah. So this card too is talking about something that is quick. It's like a flash in the pan. It's a moment. It's a drop in the bucket of eternity. And it doesn't last forever. You put a drop of, food coloring in clear water, and eventually you can't see the drop anymore. The water is different, a little bit maybe, but you can't see the drop. It's completely dissipated it's just in the surroundings now, right? It's no longer graspable, no longer tangible. So this is happening very quickly, but it is something that is changing your life if you accept it, if you allow it. Now, when we look at the 3 of Swords, this is kind of doing the math too, right? This is saying, use your intuition. This is the card that kind of says your memories are kind of distracting you a little bit. And what I mean by that is the 3 of Cups is usually about us reliving an experience. So this opportunity, you see that hand out of the clouds offering you something, and suddenly your mind starts remembering all the things that have ever happened to you in your life. And I think psychologically that's kind of how the mind works, right? You see something round and spherical, and your mind, you're unconsciously just processing, remembers every other shape that it's ever seen that was kind of like that, round and spherical, right? And then it's a ball, and that's kind of the 3 of Swords. But a lot of the time, especially in a situation like this where it's just kind of it has to be a split decision. Here's the thing, do you want it? We start thinking of all the times that happened in the past, and we think, oh, it's bad. Because maybe our impression of something like that has never really worked out for us. So we think that because the last 10 times I tried to take advantage of an opportunity like this, it didn't work out, I'm not going to accept this one because this one's not going to work out either, right? And it's kind of a gambler's fallacy a little bit, thinking that just because something has been repeating the same way, that it's going to continue repeating the same way going into the future, right? And I really wish we had a couple more court cards here, like the Queen and the Knight of Pentacles, to show the difference between looking at the past and looking at the future, and how we can't just overlap them. Nothing is going to repeat the same way. We can gain wisdom from what happened to us in the past, and we can apply that to the future, apply that to right now, but it's never going to repeat exactly the same way. And we can't use that kind of thinking or thought process or information processing to assume that this opportunity is going to be not good, right? But it's part of the process. It's part of us doing the math. Yeah. So we do the math. We trust our intuition. We try to tap into that intuition that, maybe can foresee a different outcome here. because this is a different situation. There's something new about this. We try to harmonize all of that into a final kind of premonition. And I think the Six of Swords in some ways is like a scientist that says, I have a theory that if I do this and this and this and this, that will be the outcome. It's kind of like seeing the future. It's kind of like a premonition. It's a prediction, yeah? And the only way to really prove or disprove that theory is to test it. And that's the fire energy. That's us saying, okay, well, I have a prediction that if I take advantage of this opportunity and I hold these reins really tight and I try to follow my intuition, follow my gut, lead this horse in the right direction, I predict that it's going to be a life-changing success here. And the only way to really find out is to do it. All right. That's going to take us to the path of the serpent now. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it really does help out the channel, and I really do appreciate that. All right. Also, what's the connection with Japan for you? Spirit's telling me to ask about Japan. Do you live there, used to live there, know somebody there? Is this part of this opportunity? Is it a traveling opportunity? Something's going on with Japan for you. Okay? Maybe not now, maybe in the future. All right? Something to keep in mind anyway. The Eight of Swords, that's what we don't want. We get so wrapped up in this process, we don't realize that all of our time today is gone, and we're still just talking about all these swords cards. We get wrapped up in this ball of Christmas lights, and we cannot untangle it. Right? We cannot untangle this. The more we try, the more the knots get tighter and tighter. We think we're loosening something over here, but we're tightening it over there. It's impossible. Yeah. This is a knot that we cannot untie. And I think that this is in some ways self-sabotage, because it's kind of an avoidance tactic, right? That I can't make a decision yet. I'm still mulling it over. I'm still deciding. I'm still considering all of the different angles here. Oh, the horse already left. Okay, well then never mind. So it's not really our fault that we didn't make a decision. I was trying to, but then the horse left. We don't want to get wrapped up like this. Okay, and I think we do have a little bit of a tendency to do this. This is kind of the idea, and I don't know if this has happened to you, where there's been a deadline for something, right? I don't know if it's like college applications or something that you had to send in, but you were writing and writing and writing, and you kept revising and revising and revising, and then when you were finally ready to mail it, it was too late. Maybe you never even got to that point. Maybe you were revising and revising and revising, and then the deadline came and went, and you couldn't send it in. I don't know if it's like something you were trying to publish, or if it was an application to something. I don't know what that was. But I feel like you know what I mean. Okay. And that really is going to give us that hindsight, And it's easy to see things later on and look back and say, oh, yeah, I really should have, done something differently. I should have kind of tried to wrap this up quicker so we had more time to talk about this. I should have seen that there was a little kitchen timer that was ticking down for this opportunity. But they say hindsight is 20/20, right? And that's what I think what this card is talking about, that if we're wrapped up in this tangle, then the only thing we're going to have really is hindsight. Okay? And what we don't want is to ruin the opportunity, the 10 of Swords. Because I feel like this is something that is part of your destiny. See, we see these 10 swords, and they're all kind of stabbing that heart right there in the middle. This is something that you really do feel. And it's part of that Two of Swords to listen to that feeling, be pulled in that direction. Like there's a rope right there, And if we let this situation, if we let this opportunity go, then I think we are kind of like stabbing ourselves in the back. It's kind of like it's going to really pierce your heart. It's going to hurt, right? Because this is something that is really part of your destiny. This feels like this is meant for you. And I think the hindsight's you're going to realize that. Okay, so let's not get to this point. And the 7, of course, the 7 of Swords. We make a decision, And the rest of these swords, particularly our memories, are going to say, hey, no, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Come back, come back, come back. One more thing, one more thing. You have to stay on this central path. This central sword is your decision. It is your will. It is you saying, this is my decision. Even though the other parts of your mind are going to say, hey, wait a minute, come back, come back. One more thing, real quick, real quick. No, this is like, when you're, when you're trying to leave the house at your relative's place, I'm Greek Italian, so my family was like this. You're getting ready to go. You're leaving, you're about to go home from the holiday party. You got to start getting ready like 2 hours ahead of time. You got to stand up, you got to say, oh, well, I think I'm going to head home. And then you've got to plan 2 hours it's going to take for you to get to the door, right? You say, oh, one more thing, come back, I forgot to tell you about this other thing. Or here, let me get some leftovers for you. And now we got to go in the kitchen, and it's going to be a half hour to get the big plate of leftovers, It's the same kind of thing. So you have to know your own mind here. You have to be able to, we have to plan for our own kind of idiosyncrasies. Yeah. And if we know ourselves, then we know, hey, it's going to take me, it's going to take me a few days to figure this out. Well, let's plan for that, and let's, when we're headed for the door, let's not get distracted to come back in and talk about one more thing. We don't need any more leftovers. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card, though. Yeah, shall we? All right. What is this going to be? I want to see some earth energy, I think, showing that this situation, this opportunity is going to have an outcome, that it's going to be something, right? That the situation is not just going to float away into space, that something is going to happen through this. So maybe like a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. I would take a 9 or a 10 of Cups. I think 9 or 10 of Cups would be... I'm thinking 10 of Cups now. Because we had that heart in here with the 10 of Swords. And this was saying that our mind could really just stab ourselves in the heart, right? To where we just tore our own heart out with this thing because we let this opportunity go. Also, who's the L name in your life? I don't know, Laura, Larry, something with an L. I think it's a name of a person, relative, maybe. But the 10 of Swords makes me think of a 10 of Cups, right? We have the mind, we have the heart, thinking and feeling. We don't want the mind to ruin this experience for the heart. Okay? And I don't know what this experience is. I don't know what all this fire energy is about. It could be something business related, creative related. It could be romance, family, friends. I don't know. 10 of Cups. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Oh, goodness. Yes, 10 of Cups. This is telling me that we're not going to let the mind do this. We're not going to sabotage this opportunity for our hearts because this is something that we really do want. Yeah. So we're not going to let this happen. And this is the card that's in the position of what we don't want anyway. We don't want that. What we do want is that. What we do want is the 10 of Cups. The heart completely fulfilled. This experience, we are being pulled by our heart, pulled by our intuition, and we are manifesting this. We are taking advantage of this opportunity. You're going to be very happy that you did. You're going to be very grateful for the opportunity. This is really like you're in your best life, dream come true, and very thankful for it. This is beautiful. This feels so good. It feels good because this is like the heart now triumphing over the mind that I think we have a tendency to do this. Not this time. Not this time, brain. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link up here, or there's one down in the video description too. Okay. New readings for Aquarius every Thursday and Sunday. I'm here every day. Just come on back. We'll talk again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We are almost at 200K. It is because of all of you. I really do appreciate you. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know about that Japan connection. Yeah. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.